relationship with money is always based in fear, but our relationship with life is based around fear. Fear is always present. Fear is present in a relationship, in a marriage. It's always present. The hard part is people let fear make their decisions, make their choices in life. And what we're talking about is, fear is present. Yeah, it's everywhere I turn, but it doesn't run my life. I do. I make the choices in my life. So it's not elimination of fear. It's not elimination of the darkness. It's not elimination of doubt. It's not elimination of worry or concerns. That doesn't go away. It's not an elimination because it's always present. It's conscious knowing that there's darkness, fear, doubt, worry, concerns, and I have my conscious choice on what I want to put forth. And so I choose to put this in over fear. If I was to say the most common fears surrounding money is, it's going to change me. If I have money, I'm going to be changed. What they're really saying is, if I have money, I won't be loved. And everybody wants to be loved. Everyone does. And so there's a judgment based upon the money. Money doesn't change people, it reveals them. And so when you have money, every aspect of you is going to be revealed. The so-called dark parts, the so-called negative parts, the so-called arrogant parts, the so-called insecure parts, the so-called strong parts, the so-called beautiful parts, the so-called generous parts, all of you will be revealed because in honesty, humans are very, very, very complex creatures with many facets, so-called dark sides and so-called beautiful sides. We all have them, and money will reveal them. But when you reveal them in consciousness, you can chase, that arrogant prick, I really don't want to be that guy. It's not someone I want to be. That guy who thinks he's better than everyone, superior to everyone, I don't really want to be that human being. I would rather be this. And I'm making a conscious choice because money reveals, and it reveals as all of us. And I'm going to choose which parts of me I want to be revealed and strengthen, empower, practice, and grow.
Why do you think so many people have unconscious sabotage behaviors around money? And if you don't mind elaborating a bit on some of those warning signs, like the oil light comes on in the car, that they're actually starting that sabotage process for themselves.
Everyone has an unhealed relationship with life in some way or form. Money is just one aspect of it. We all do. I don't know why, but this is the way I see it, so it'd be my perspective. Every single human being goes through trauma when they're at a young age. And we, metaphorically, are a bone hole. We're born complete, a soul or something like that combined with us. And then we go through trauma and we split. And our persona, our ego, a part of us goes this way, and our other side of us goes this way, and we're always looking to be fulfilled. We're always searching externally to be filled. Maybe it's this next job, maybe it's children, maybe it's marriage, and we're always looking to be fulfilled and just always, no matter what, feel empty and unfulfilled or not enough, not good enough. And the journey is, what we're kind of discussing is healing that wounded trauma, letting it go, forgiving it, setting it free, not forgetting it, but letting it go. And then when it's truly let go, it brings forth a unification. It brings forth fulfillment. It brings back wholeness. And that's still a process. It happens over and over and over again. But in bringing that healing together, you're not looking external anymore for fulfillment. You're looking internally. Your fulfillment comes within because you're practicing being a co-creator with the universe. So again, if we were to go down the fears of money, one is I won't be loved. I'll be changed. I'll be judged. I'm not worthy. I'm not good enough. I'm going to be exposed and not being good enough. I'm living a fraudulent life. I'm deeply, deeply, deeply insecure, and I do everything I can to hide it. I hope that nobody can see or tell that I'm insecure. And if I have money, I'm going to be seen. I'm going to be noticed. 2, I'm aloof to money. The opposite of love is aloof. If I ask most people, 99% of the people, 99.9% are going to say, what is the opposite of love? It's going to be hate. No, there's still energy combined with hate. There's still an engagement. The opposite of love is apathy. No energy at all. Don't even notice it. And many people are aloof to it. because of fixed beliefs in the world. Money is evil, and I'm better than money, so I'm aloof to it. I'm superior to it. It's just an evil entity, and I'm so much better than this money system we run in. And so if you're aloof to someone, if you're apathetic to something, if you're in a relationship and you're apathetic, oh, you're better than me? Oh, fine. You be better than me. I don't want to be around you. And so we push abundance away to be superior.
What would you say to that belief that some people have of having a lot of money is selfish?
I guess in some degree it could be, because they're taking care of their self. To me, that's loving. And money is a very powerful energy. And so because it's a powerful catalyst, it is neutral. But whatever energy I add it to, it can create tremendous evil in the world. You have some form of evil in the world, you pour a bunch of money into it, boy, it expands that evil. It also is very powerful in creating love, You have abundance in your life, and there's some place in the world that I had a friend of mine that was digging wells in Africa, going to village after village, digging wells in Africa. And this would transform an entire village if they could have a well. It really would help them. She called me up and said, if I have $1,500 for 6 villages, I could probably really help 3,000, 4,000 people. I just need $6,000. Well, that was easy. Send the money. I didn't do any of the work. It transformed lives. Because money is neutral and it amplifies any energy, it will easily amplify so-called negative just as much as positive. So if you're saying money is selfish, it certainly could create tremendous amount of selfishness and me attitude, always everything about me. It certainly has that possibility. It also can transform selflessness. It's neutral to it. We get to choose. And so no matter what you say, yeah, sure.
You mentioned too the idea of giving and then receiving. So that energy that comes out when you give, it's a different energy versus being a taker, so to speak.
Yep.
But like you were talking about the wells in Africa, it's a feeling of feeling good when you give. Maybe not everybody has that, but I know that when I give, or even if it's a homeless person, there's something about me. It's like,
Sure.
I feel like I'm a better person, even from that little moment. And it builds my own, I think, sense of integrity.
So there's 2 or 3 things you're discussing that need to be broken down. First is giving and receiving. And the second is that feeling from giving. The highest form of love in the universe is service. When we serve one another, we are filled. We can't explain why, but we are filled with love. The highest vibration of love is in service. Part of that could be giving money. It brings that feeling forth. It happens in every human being. If you're super, super depressed and really down and maybe even suicidal, the best, fastest way to transform that is go serve someone else. Instead of staring in, I'm suicidal depressed, I think I'm going to go get a gun and drink a bottle of whiskey and end my life, but I don't really want to do that, but I want to make something transform quickly. Go find a place to serve and serve. Go serve someone. And you could be going, well, I have all these needs and I have all these problems and I have all those things. It's not like they're going to go away, but you want to transform yourself, go serve. Service is the highest form of love. So you discuss that. And then it's very, very important to discuss what giving and receiving is. A lot of people, especially mothers, are really good at giving. They love to give. It brings them fulfillment. And then I have a long conversation with them and talk to them about how they have taken energy. They get very angry. I don't blame them for getting angry because they don't receive. In the process of giving and receiving, it's a continual cycle. Money is a continuous cycle of giving and receiving, giving and receiving. And when we refuse to receive, I'm not worthy, I don't deserve, others are more deserving. No, don't worry about that. We block it, and we actually put forth taking energy. And well, that's the last thing that most mothers would want to be seen as they're a taker. What? Wait, no, I give all day long. Yes. Acknowledging that. Yet you don't receive. You push off receiving because of your own unworthiness. And so you block it because you don't feel worthy to receive. Let's just deal with what really is going on and start looking at your blocks on why you don't deserve feel worthy to receive. And that's very different than the narcissist who is constantly taking. Human beings, I believe, their biggest struggle in life is receiving. It's not easy.
Really?
Giving works. We all feel good. Human beings struggle in receiving. It's a lot more work than it seems. On its surface, it seems easy. It's not. It's not. And to find out real quickly, how good are you receiving unconditional love? How good are you receiving joy? How good are you receiving your own abundance? How good are you receiving peace? How good are you receiving those things? Ooh. You start looking at it sincerely with no judgment, but honestly, we suck at it. We're not really good at it.
On that note, it's a very common belief, or probably subconscious belief, I don't deserve it. That keeps coming up for a lot of people where, you look at the money, do I really deserve that? We were talking about the power that word deserve, right?
Mm-hmm.
In relationships, but overall, like in the relationship that we have with ourselves, at what point do we give ourselves permission or empathy for wanting nicer things or wanting money? Because there is that conflict, right? For a lot of people.
If you deal on a surface level, you're going to have this conversation. I deserve it. No, I don't. I deserve it. And you're going to be in conflict. And then you're going to make choices of, well, I deserve, and I look at all I do. And so you're now rationalizing, justifying, and defending your choices because it's out of alignment. Receiving or deserving or being worthy, what's that tie from? Where did you gain that fixed belief? Were you born at that at 4 years old? I'm unworthy. I don't deserve. At 1 as a baby, at 3 years old, and where did you find this belief system? Where did it come from? Where would it first show up? And now all of a sudden it's a part of your belief system, and you own it, and you're at war with yourself, and so you're fighting all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Well, where did that come from? There's so many different ways that might be about it. It'd be hard to have, unless I was with that individual and we started really looking in and they were willing to look deep and honestly where their pain's from. But there was a trigger. There was a moment. There was a trauma that sparked that. And now they've been living that. Mm-hmm. And they've been living it for so long, they don't know what it is.
And you were talking about we're around things as kids, but that's thought, but you come back to the feeling. And I think that really resonates with a lot of people, because when I think back about some of the most moments, early childhood moments where maybe my mom said something and I felt shame, wow, I should not have done X, Y, and Z or said that with that tone to that adult. I felt serious shame, and it taught me through that sense of I don't want to feel that way anymore.
Sure.
But I think that also corresponds with money. You don't want that feeling of, not worthy, you don't want that feeling of
shame. Who wants
that? Right.
Who wants that? So I'll avoid it. Yeah.
But it can work in both ways, right?
Of course.
Because some people grow up without a lot of money and then they feel shame from that. So they're on a mission to get money to fill the hole based on that feeling. I know a few men like that.
Yeah. Yep, I do.
So how maybe expand a bit about people out there who don't realize, because again, it's not thought process or mindset, it is the feeling that they had that really is their subconscious belief going on right now, whether they're 40, 50 years old. It may actually come from, you don't need that new bicycle, or you don't, in that sense of not worthy because of somebody around them as a young child told them that.
Sure. First, let's talk about the word guilt. Guilt and shame are extremely, extremely powerful emotions. They're the two highest, guilt and shame. All guilt really means, on a logical form, is I'm driving down the freeway in my car, and my engine light comes on. Oh, shoot, there's something wrong with my car. I ought to go get it serviced. My oil light comes on. Let's go get it serviced. What happens a lot with people with guilt is they're driving down the freeway and their oil light comes on and they pull off the side of the road and they go, oh my God, I can't believe I let my oil light come on. I can't believe I did that. Oh my God, I'm never going to drive this car again. And they stay stuck in that shame guilt moment, never driving their car again. All guilt is a blinker from our unconscious, from our higher selves, from the universe going, hey, these choices you're making, rationalizing and justifying as okay. You better be paying attention. You keep making these choices, you're going to really mess up your life. You're really going to fuck things up. And you're not going to really fuck things up for you. You're going to fuck things up for everyone around you. Maybe you ought to stop rationalizing and justifying these choices and get honest with yourself and get honest with your relationships. That's what guilt really is meant for. That's what its highest value is for. It's just an alignment, a lighthouse, so to speak. Ooh, wait a second. I'm being kind of a shit right now. I'm making shitty choices. I could go into rationalizing and justifying that I deserve and I should be able to do these things. Well, I'm not being fulfilled because of my partner. I'm not being fulfilled. And so I'm going to keep doing these things. Like, you can do that. Mm-hmm. Guaranteed a path of pain is up behind it. Guaranteed there's tremendous pain behind it. But you do what you want. It's just a blinker. Again, they're very powerful and they can be used of great value. Oh, shoot, I don't want to repeat that again. I feel a tremendous amount of shame and guilt. I don't want to repeat that one. And they can be very debilitating. Hold us back.
Three most common financial, or any of the most common financial mistakes couples are making every day.
They don't have the hard conversations. They assume. They're constantly assuming. She grew up in her life with her family in her way, with her rules and her ways of being. He grew up in his, with his rules, his ways of being, and they don't co-create theirs. And so they assume he should think this way. What an idiot. How come he can't? This guy's an idiot. How come? This is obvious. He thinks she should think this way. He should be this way. How come? And so they just don't, like you said, almost lay down a mission statement. What are we co-creating together? Because this is you and me. Yes, we got all these belief systems from all around, but this is our journey together. What do we want to create? And what does that look like? And just have a open, creative, honest conversation what this means. And it's not just about material things. It's about all aspects of it. And that's something that doesn't happen in 2 hours over a cup of coffee. This is something that shifts and grows and shifts and grows as the relationship shifts and grows, and it moves. But it's one of those things we're continually addressing. When things aren't working, when a boundary is getting close to being crossed. Hey, let's have an honest conversation. What's going on? When we're in agreement, when we're in disagreement, valuing the conversation, valuing the other, they both matter. A lot of people want to be in a relationship, but they want to be in a relationship with one, me. And the relationship should be all about me. No, it should be all about me. No, it should be about, that's not co-creating, because a relationship is more than one. And so it's about the highest good for the relationship. We have conversations about the highest good for the entire relationship. And when we do that, we recognize these are my needs. These are what I want filled. If I journey on my own and get these, I may or may not be able to. If she journeys on her own and goes and gets those things, she may or may not be able to. But when we work together, both of us receive far more, a lot more. 1 + 1 is an infinite. Or we can go about our relationship in confrontation and we both receive a lot less.